lifting off now. Ram drive spinning down. Systems acquired. They're not jumping out of here.
You've already lost. Concentrate fire!
Damn it, their engines are back online. Cruise ride.
United Colonies vessel to unknown contact. Please acknowledge. All in a day's work for UC SysDef. The designation, UC Vanguard. You people are a class act. Any way we can repay you. Salvage rights are yours. We got to resume our patrol. Stay safe.
Certainly less auspicious than New Atlantis, is it not?
You shouldn't need some work done. You were able to land it, so I'm sure whatever's broken can be fixed. I'm sure you can find something you like.
Always nice to kick back in the broken sphere after a long day.
Do you imagine anyone actually enjoys living here? I simply cannot.
The miners have a secret about something they call the Heart of Mars.
I have a pen pal in New
I
Atlantis.
overheard one of them
We've
talking
never met
about
in
it at the
person,
bar.
but she's still one of my
Layla,
best
I think
friends.
it was.
Joy and Horace? I think they get along well enough. Sure, they argue, but that's a good thing. Disagreement's healthy. What good are your beliefs if you never have to defend them? Not to get all sappy, but I lost a son in the war. It's been 20 years, but it still makes my brain a bit swirly thinking about it. Just never got to say goodbye, you know? That bugs me. So I come here to try and get peace. Still doing things by hand, huh? I keep telling her she needs to act her age, not the stone one. But some people think being difficult builds character. Oh well. Let's see what she wrote. Oh no. I hope this doesn't mean... Yes, you did fine. I just hope it's not too late. I need to go see her. If she's really on death's door, then this could be my only chance. Thank you for bringing me this.
ago.
Well, well, look what the Martian Queen's doing.
Invoices can be collected from the... Oh. Not here for a delivery, are you?
Do you now? Well, I do wish I could help you, Captain, but Dr. Walker has been missing for some time.
A shame, too. We had such high hopes for Percival. I brought him on myself to do medical and biological consulting around the city. Not the sort of work the Trade Authority traditionally does. But we thought it had the potential to become a whole new type of revenue stream for our branch. I invested no small amount of personal capital into the endeavor. But then he decided to run off after a discipline issue. I presume the miners have him hidden somewhere. Plenty of cracks on this old rock. But at this point, it's probably for the best. They were all devils. Red Devils. A UC Marine unit based here on Mars, though they were disbanded shortly after the Colony War. I presume a number of them served alongside Dr. Walker. Bonds forged in battle and all that. Dr. Walker decided to start brewing and selling his own pharmaceuticals to our customers, below cost. Something his contract expressly forbade. As such, we requested our cut of the profits and began garnishing his salary. Perhaps a little too severely, but well within legal limits. It was around then that he ran off, abandoning his duty and his unpaid accounts. That's correct. We're no longer interested in Dr. Walker's services. He did leave his post, however, with a sizable debt to his name. If you were to find him and get him to pay, the Trade Authority would be most grateful for it.
Just this one time? I am all too aware that once one starts doing favors for the Trade Authority, it can be difficult to stop.
Why? Feeling charitable? I don't recall the exact figure off the top of my head, but with the interest it's accrued, I believe it's something substantial. So if you were able to find him and convince him to clear his accounts, you would have our honest gratitude.
Yes, not everything needs to be a transaction.
Pity. Perhaps a little advance on my part might pique your interest. Visit the Sixth Circle, a bar on the lowest level of the city. If someone in Sidonia knows where Percival is, you'll find them there.
A reminder that Bring Your Child to Work Day is not an officially sanctioned holiday, and that it is not advised to allow children into potentially dangerous work sites. Keep our children safe. Keep them out of harm's way. Thank you from the Sidonia Department of Labor.
Reading procedure 00579BF. Not found.
Broken Spear's upstairs. Go drown yourself there. This bar's for Devil's vets and their kin. The hell you just say to me? I gotta...
Andy, sit down. You. Don't appreciate some stray wandering into my bar, harassing my patrons. Even the ones I should have cut off 2 drinks ago. Now spit out what you want, or march.
Doc Walker? Well, you're barking up the wrong...
Hey, enough. And come over here, Captain.
What?
Stray topsider wanders into my bar asking after a man like Percival Walker. Raises questions. What do you want with him? Is that so? Well, Captain, then you should have no problem answering a few simple questions about the Vanguard, right? Like knowing, for example, what Supra et Ultra means. You remember? Your Vanguard motto? I see. And tell me, what grade was it you got on your entrance exam? A? C? D+? That is right. All right, Captain. Maybe you are who you say you are. But look, even if I decided I was going to help you get in contact with Dr. Walker, Percival made himself scarce for a reason. His debt to the Trade Authority. But if someone resolved that debt, well, Percival wouldn't have to hide anymore. Can bet that person would make a friend out of Percival, and the rest of us devils. And I'm always inclined to help a friend. Red Devils were the meanest Marine unit the UC Navy ever had. Couldn't get in if you hadn't done at least one stint as a Martian Dusty. Made us tough, reliable. It's why they chose us as the handlers for the UC Xeno weapons. No other unit could handle that pressure. Percival, though, he wasn't a grunt like all of us. Science officer. Made sure the monsters behaved themselves around the Devils, and didn't with everyone else. But it was those monsters that did us in. When the colony war ended and the armistice came down, everything associated with Xeno weapons got shelved, Red Devils included. Now they're just a memory. Me? Nah. Infantry officer. But my grunts deployed alongside the things. Never seen anything like it, before or since. Monsters from the darkest corners of the Black, rampaging across the battlefield. And understand why they banned them. Brutal. Armistice hurt us more than most, but... wow. Wasn't all bad that came out of that agreement. Well, most straightforward way to take care of this debt would be to just saunter up to the Authority and pay him direct, if you've got credits to throw away. Of course, rumor is the Trade Authority keeps all their records and collections files on a central server inside their storeroom. If someone was to break in there and adjust Percival's debt to something a little more reasonable, say a few hundred credits, I'd be happy to cover the costs.
Crossing the Trade Authority could be perilous. There are real stakes here.
And, one soldier to another. Sidonia's full of old utility tunnels and crawl spaces. Wouldn't be surprised if there was one that let out right into the Authority storeroom. Say, with an entrance behind the bar at the Broken Spear. Ooh, and you might need these. And I look forward to hearing the good news.
Hi.
Heard you talking with Lou, so you're going to help Dr. Walker? Oh, no, I mean, I've got my suspicions, but look, you're planning to help Percival, right? Yeah, sure. Listen, I know how you can do it without having to resort to any B&E. Aqueous hematite. Mars is full of it. People think it's just garbage, but Percival and I, we've been working on some projects in the deep mines. At least when he wasn't slaving away at his trade authority contract. But we stumbled on a way to make it useful and profitable. You give our research over to Octai at the trade authority, it should more than cover Percival's debt. That guy's always looking for an angle. No. Well, yes, but the medical kind. I'd help him make whatever the city was running low on that month, and we'd sell it to the miners for cheap. But the trade authority got wind and wanted their cut. And then some. It's mostly iron and about 3 centuries of human water runoff, though only Percival would be able to tell you all the trace elements and whatnot. But it builds up around human settlements, and something about the Martian soil changes it, makes it into something new, and we think we found a use for it. Oh, I'm Cambridge. I was Percival's assistant. Well, apprentice, really. Couldn't work in the mines anymore, so he gave me a job helping with some of his side projects. Knows experiments inside and out, and I know this one was gonna be big. Well, yeah. We were never able to finish the research. Spacers moved in and ran us out. Started setting up shop.
Oh, I know what comes next.
But if you can clear them out, I can walk you through how to finish the research. Then you can give it over to the trade authority. They'll get folks working in the deep mines again. Jobs come back, I become a modern-day folk hero. Then I don't have to sleep on an inflated spacesuit anymore. Biggest employer on Mars has always been Deimos Star Yards. After the Colony War, Armistice meant they needed a lot fewer warships. Fewer ships meant fewer minerals. That meant a lot of folks scrounging for work around here. A bunch of parasites and cutthroats. They're folks from the fringes of space, willing to put down anyone who tries to move in on what they've decided is theirs, even when it ain't. Strange this group would pick Mars as a new home. Sure, we're not downtown New Atlantis, but there are places where they'd be bothered less than here. My guess is the authority tipped them off when they heard we were working down there, and cut off what they thought was the competition, you know? Up to you. If you want to avoid a bounty on your head, you let me know.
A qualified supervisor may change my directives.
Not having. I hope you've got your own cutter. I don't have any to lend out. The who's and what's it's? Sorry, mate. I've got no idea what you're on about. Sounds made up if you ask me. But then again, maybe the other miners have been inventing some jargon I'm not familiar with. Best to ask around. You have a good one, all right?
Point that thing at me. If there were any doubt of Sidonia's importance to the United Colonies and its industry, this certainly puts it to rest.
careful around the equipment.
Okay. I can see you're serious about helping me. Great. Now, the next part is a little trickier. Our Director of Mining Operations, Peter Brennan, fired his last assistant over a month ago. Peter's the only one who can approve the order for new equipment, and unfortunately, he's useless without an assistant. I think I've got a surefire way for you to get that job. Then you, as his assistant, can get him to sign off on the approval. You don't think I've tried? Like I said, the guy is literally useless without his assistant. I don't even know if he knows how to actually use a computer. And everything Deimos does is so mired in bureaucracy because of their contracts with the UC. Which means, unfortunately, we need to do all the things by the book if we want them done at all. We just need you to take the job until we get the approval signed. Then you can quit, keep it, or do whatever. It's not as bad as it sounds. Worst case scenario, you may have to go fetch some stuff for him and go over his messages. It'll be easy, I promise. Now hold on, it's not that easy. You'll need to apply for it like anyone else. Head to the Deimos Star Yard's office up in orbit to fill out the application. It's where that job is posted. Come back and see me when you've done that, and we'll talk about how to secure the position for you.
Surely there must be someone else who can take such a ridiculous job.
Was there something else? Do you now? Very well. Let me take a look at his... Here, his current balance. And do remember, all transactions are final.
It cleared. Wonderful. Dr. Walker's debt is officially no longer our problem. You have my thanks. Oh, and if you do find him, please let Percival know I'm eagerly looking forward to never working with him again.
Look hurt. Might want to head on over to the mine.
Yeah? Did you now? Fine work. My end of the bargain then, I suppose. He's holed up in the old Red Devil's HQ. Place was sealed up tight after the UC shuttered our unit, but we snuck him in the back entrance through the deep mines. Good you're going in there, actually. Bunch of spacers moved in, not long after we got Percival set up. Don't expect he'd run out before they got taken care of, but I'm sure he'll appreciate not having to find out if I left him with enough rations. Here, the passkey. And I'll let him know there's someone he owes one hell of a thank you on their way down.
myself. Not that I smell bad, I just... Never mind.
Help me with this, and I see a bright future in the Trackers Alliance for you. Hey, you looking for more work? I'm wondering if you might be up for doing me a favor of the personal kind, off the books. Good. I'm already getting readings from it. Nothing yet, but when he shows, we'll get him. Here's your pay. Think of it as your cut of the bounty for your assistance.
Captain, greetings.
Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
It's not really going to hit me until later. Right now, I just need everyone else to be okay. That's understandable. People often feel numb after a shock, even days later. Just don't push yourself, okay? We all need to take time for ourselves, especially now. We'll get through this. It might feel like everything's falling apart, but that's why we need to stick together. We all have to get through this our own way. Don't worry about me. Really, I'll be fine.
I was just thinking about you.
How have you been? Everyone is in mourning. I understand, but I cannot quite share in their emotion. After the shock of what happened faded, I have felt nothing else. Just a numbness. I have seen death. I have lost people I considered close. But this is... it is not the same. I cannot explain why. I am not sure I am making sense. I am not sure I agree, but now is hardly the time to debate it. Can we speak for a moment?
Time to leave this place behind.
Hey, over here. Could you please spare a ship part? Our rookie here may have sideswiped an asteroid. Needs some repairs. I had a good feeling about you. We just need a little. 2 units of ship parts will do. You're a lifesaver. Here, take these for your help.
I am sorry.
Constellation is no stranger to loss. Our own founder left on an expedition and never returned. It is easy to talk about the glory and excitement of breaching into the unknown, of lighting the darkness. But it is harder to stare into the face of the cost. That all of our progress is built on top of the lives of those who dared. And that we owe them the courage to continue our work in their memory.
Thank you, Sarah. If anyone else would like to say a few words. Thank you. If anyone else wants to say something.
I thought maybe I would come up with something to say, but I've got nothing. So, instead, I thought I would quote something that gave me comfort a long time ago. Is God real? The more proper question would be, is reality divine? Existence itself is a mystery which yearns to be uncovered. What is goodness but a comparison to the good? What is existence but a participation in being? For where the diversity of the universe inspires awe and wonder, it exists only in contrast to a simplicity so pure that it may only be understood as primordial and even divine. Our essence is what was imagined by its mind. But what we consider imagining and what we consider mind are in fact so far beyond our understanding that even these metaphors are like the tiny whitecaps on a massive surging sea. There's more, but those are the parts that speak to me the most. Thank you.
That was really thoughtful, Mateo. Thank you. Does anyone else want to say anything?
I don't often speak about what I believe in. It seems so redundant with how I live. But death is one of those occasions where it's hard not to look inward. Our friend is gone. There's no afterlife, or second meetings. No God in heaven that is curating a perfect ending for him. So it's up to us. We are what lives on. If the pain of loss inspires us to greater action, then that is the good that comes from it. Humanity is what truly creates our world. We are the ones that judge things to be good or evil, joyful or mournful. Let us take responsibility for it. Let us remember what we have lost.
Walter, are you part of the House of Enlightenment? I never knew that.
Yes, well, I like to keep some things private. However, I know Barrett would have appreciated the sentiment.
I hope this is all okay. Between fixing things up and sending out messengers and getting all the paperwork done. It's not much. I haven't really been sleeping much. I'm not having the best dreams right now. No, I know. Sorry, if I talk any longer, I'm gonna start crying. Could you excuse me?
Take care of yourself.
I don't believe we met. Ajay Mamasa, former chair of Constellation.
I wish the circumstances of my visit were better. Yes, I'm sure I understand. Unfortunately, this isn't the first Constellation funeral I've been to. After 35 years, you say goodbye to a lot of friends. I hope you don't mind me saying, but I feel numb just thinking about it. I was the one who invited Barrett to join. Oh, he was so brilliant. Even if the rest of us couldn't always keep up. Exactly the same as when you met him, I bet. All smiles. Saying just the wrong thing at just the right time. You don't mentor someone like Barrett as much as you let him go and try to contain the damage later, eh? Ah, yes. I officiated his wedding. Ah, young Irvin. I told him he was signing up for a lot with Barrett, but he didn't care. I bet relationships in Constellation are still messy, aren't they? We're more of a family than an organization. All the former lines bleed together. It makes the losses sting harder. But I hope it means the time you had together was all the more important. That's how I like to think of it, anyway. Oh yes, I was Sebastian Banks's protege, if that gives you any idea of how long I was part of our little club. Knew him, argued with him, tried to carry on his memory when he vanished. Sebastian will be back tomorrow, we always used to say. It reminded us that he was still here, in the bones of this old building. He never mentioned that. I suppose he didn't want to talk about it after what happened. The colony war took so much from us all.
I will be monitoring everyone's vitals for signs of continued trauma. I am told these types of gatherings are a sad occasion. That assumption appears to be correct. I appreciate you verifying my analysis, although I am certain my thanks will do little to improve your current psychological trauma. If you would like, though, I can add some consoling language to my programming. Very well.
Chat for a bit? Normally, I hate talking to people at funerals, but, well. Fair enough.
It almost feels wrong to be grieving. Selfish. No amount of tears will bring the dead back. It's just easier to feel guilty, if you'll excuse me.
And don't keep asking. I'm not gonna be, alright? Everything's worse now. Is talking supposed to make us all feel better? Is that why we're all here? What's the point? It's not going to change anything. Every day is going to be worse now. Don't you get that? I want to be alone for a while, okay?
Drink? Pour one out to the blackest sea? Two old friends. May their ghosts go past the edges of space, to the great beyond. Aye.
Is it quieter in the lodge, or is it just me? Death is a bastard. Comes for us all. You know, there's an old Aquila story about two pioneers who got lost trying to find a new frontier to settle. One of them takes ill. Clear he's not gonna make it, he turns to his partner and says, "Don't bury me. Let the ground take what it's due. I'd rather be a ghost chasing after you than walk through the pearly gates knowing an eternity of loneliness until you get there." Sad story, huh? You look after yourself. And when you get a moment, can
Saw
we
a
talk?
lot of death in the fleet. Part of the reason I left. You stop feeling. Rather be sad than numb.
This is harder than I expected. This is harder than I expected.